What up, ladies and gents? Another Adonis review. Today I am going to be doing the VR game Hubris. Now, first off, let's go into what you should expect story-wise. Wow, I just realized that I don't even really know what happened in the story. I'll try to explain as best as I can based off what I gathered, I guess. But essentially, you land on a planet as a part of let's call it an organization, and shit's popping off, and you're the guy who fixes it. I don't know if you've ever played a game where you're the hero and there's bad guys, and you have to stop them, and they have henchmen, and you can cheat them, and craft and whatnot, and eventually you have to hopefully win to be good. But that's essentially what you're doing here. So, surprise. So let's go into the overall game and what you should expect. Now, the first thing I kind of heard about this game after reviews and introductions and all that fun stuff is that it's essentially, Red Matter 2. If you've heard of that game, it came out not too long ago on the PSVR 2. It was a very beautiful game. Probably, in my opinion, it's like not necessarily the best graphically, I would say. Again, the graphics are great. I'm not saying that they aren't the best. But I would say the reason the graphics are so good isn't because they're the best graphics hands down. It's because they did something in that game where the graphics were so crisp, which I think maybe is like, right now, currently, if you're listening to this present day, the Switchback VR game has a patch I think they've been waiting for to come out that's supposed to kind of increase the graphics, not just pushing them up, but actually make them clearer and more crisp and smooth and whatnot. And I would say that the Red Matter 2 game had the most smooth, perfect graphics. Like you never had to clean your glasses or what have you to make sure that you were seeing the game properly. It was always, it shows you that some games probably have something wrong internally more than the fact that the VR is just not doing its job properly. So anyways, long story short, is that Red Matter 2 had fantastic graphics, but the biggest problem with Red Matter 2 is the combat was lacking. There is very little of it. So this was supposed to be kind of the counter of that, and it was supposed to be a very good graphical game as well, but, it gives it the combat that you might have missed in Red Matter 2. And I would slightly agree with that. I would say overall, if we stay on the fact of Red Matter 2 versus this, if for some reason you know what that is, and played it, and, are basically, just like I did, this game is very graphically beautiful. It probably, I feel like the graphics are close to as good as Red Matter 2 is. They're probably a little bit of a step below in some areas, but overall, this is definitely one of the better looking games on the PSVR 2. So graphically, beautiful game. It is there. Like I said, maybe a few inches below Red Matter 2 graphically. But beyond, when it comes to overall, this is the top of the list when it comes to beautiful graphic games on the VR2 and probably the VR in general. So if you're looking for a game that's great graphics, you've got it. Second, as you can see, there is climbing in this game. Essentially, if you want to know the tropes and the type of activities you'll get into by playing this game, you climb, you get this pistol that is unlimited ammo, which is always nice not to have to worry about ammo. And this pistol can eventually upgrade itself, so you do gather parts as you see to upgrade the pistol power-wise as well as different modes-wise. It does have different modes eventually that you can unlock, like a machine gun pistol type thing, a shotgun as well, and as you kind of saw here, there's like a torpedo thing that's actually a secondary weapon that also upgrades, but it gets more powerful, or that's kind of a gauntlet. But that's essentially it, you know. So you get essentially 3 main weapons that you're really going to use: the shotgun version of your pistol, the machine gun version, and the pistol version of your pistol. When it comes to shoot-wise, this is probably one of the most efficient and smooth shooting games I've seen. When you hold the gun with both hands, you are allowed to get like the dot or whatever, I don't know, you call it crosshair or something like that, so you can see what you're aiming at better, which really helps, which is nice. I feel like, you know, I don't know if anybody has a gripe with that. I don't know if that's an issue with the game for some reason, like if it's easier or something, but I think it's a nice switch, you know, because it really isn't like super duper difficult if you aren't using the crosshairs or anything like that. You can still typically aim and shoot properly. It's just nice to switch, you know, if you want to. So I do feel like the shooting mechanics are done well as nice as a switch. I do feel like the shotgun that they provide is basically a worthless gun. The range is obviously bad because of the shotgun, but I feel like it's essentially, I feel like there's not really ever a good time to use the shotgun. I feel like when it comes to using the weapons, the machine gun version of it's, you know, essentially the best thing. Maybe the pistol for long range, but I don't really see a real use for the shotgun in the game, at least in my opinion. So that's kind of a gripe. I wish they made it a good, you know, good reason to switch to it. They, you know, felt nice to kind of divert and switch in the heat of battle. You also can pick and gather ways to heal yourself and craft healing things. It does become kind of monotonous eventually. I wish they kind of gave you more variety rather than just grabbing a bunch of different stuff and all becomes essentially the same healing thing. So that could have been done better. But overall, it's a good game. You know, they also, when the game first came out, the climbing was a little bit wonky. Sometimes you would overshoot, like the hand was very exact, and sometimes you would think it would automatically understand where your hand is and grab it. But if like your hand pushed forward a little bit too much, it's like you already kind of missed the grabbing part. They fixed that, so grabbing works basically as you would hope it would. So overall, this game, I feel like, does have everything you would hope to have in a VR game. And it's priced very moderately, which is one of my favorite things I'll say about VR, is that whenever a new game comes out, they don't charge you $70 and say, like, here you go, this is you know, the peak of the VR game right now, so pay full price for it. They go, hey, you know, this is a top VR2 game, and we understand that it's probably not worth $70 because it's not that long. So we charge you, I think the base is $25 for it. You know, so even on sale, like, I think it's definitely worth getting just to enjoy. And you could probably get on sale shortly, get it for $20 easy, you know, maybe eventually go down to 15. So like I said, for $25, I think it's worth it, especially if you want to expand your VR or whatever. It's worth taking a look. So just to recap, graphically, you know, very competitive, one of the top graphic VR games. Gun-wise, it's very good. You know, it does have very good mechanics. The way it works is very nice. There could be more options gun-wise, and eventually it becomes monotonous, and you kind of get all you have, and even when you upgrade it, you don't really notice a big difference. You know, like, essentially you get more damage done probably, and, you know, essentially that's probably happening, but you can never really tell the difference, which is a shame. Another tip that I got that I'll pass down is that you should start this game on the hardest difficulty. I did, and it never was too brutally difficult either, so I do recommend doing it immediately on the hardest difficulty, because it is not super difficult even in that sense. And at the very end of the game, you have a nice little race adventure for like the final mission, you know, which is a unique theme ability once, but it's also nice. But so long story short, you know, it's Resident Evil 8, you know, which is like the pinnacle of it. Is No Man's Sky, which gives you hundreds of hours. It converts a beloved game normally into VR. No. GT Gran Turismo 7, another great game they converted. No. But, you know, it's a built up for VR game that does its job, and its price is moderate. So I think if you're looking to expand your library, give it a try. It's not too expensive to try it. Hope this helps.